Hey there, Janae with Palin Projects here, and in this week's video I am going to be potting up a table display for Easter. I honestly just needed some spring color in my life, and we stopped by a couple of the nurseries in town and just saw some really beautiful color, and I couldn't resist picking some stuff up. Some of the stuff that I picked up today, I want to show you and give you a little bit of background about it and kind of walk you through how I picked it out. So I have 8 plants here. Not necessarily like 8 individual plants because tulips are bulbs and there's more than one bulb in here. And I probably could break apart this one. Honestly, what I try and do with this type of a situation where I'm really looking forward to spring color and wanting some fresh blooms in my life, some color, some flowers, I look for stuff that's perennial. What does that mean? I could have bought a lot of like annual stuff, and I'm not going to get as much bang for my buck. Some of this stuff I am going to have to pull out of the ground come fall and store it like I do with my dahlia tubers. Others I can just leave in the ground and they'll come back year after year. So when that comes to breaking apart this arrangement and planting it outside, I'll kind of show you my method, the method to my madness for that. But I do like to buy more perennial items for these type of arrangements just so that I get a multi-use out of it. Honestly, this arrangement, because we are a little bit cooler, this arrangement will last me probably into like June, July-ish, I would say. And I'll put it out on my patio when I'm done with it, or you know, yeah, when I'm done with it in here, and it warms up outside, I'll just put it out on my patio table and have it be a table arrangement out there, and just kind of let it go. I did mention that these, when it warms up, I'll put these outside. What that means is these are cool weather crops. Ranunculus like it a little on the cooler side. Pansies definitely like it on the cooler side. I've never grown this Alpino early white Saxifraga. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I've never grown this, but I'm assuming it's a cooler perennial because it is hardy down to -30 and blooms in the spring and summer. So that one probably not as much. Does it say on here if it's full sun or not? I don't see. It says, yeah, it says sunny, a sunny location. Prefers well-drained soil, kept evenly moist, feed in early spring and after flowering. So yeah, it doesn't say like part or full. It does look like it's probably full sun though from the pictures that I'm seeing on it. But Ranunculus definitely don't like it when it's warm out. So these are more of a spring weather crop. Tulips are the same. They prefer it on the cooler side. Pansies, they can tolerate warmer temperatures. They just require a little bit more water, at least where I live. But again, they start to fizzle out and not be as productive as like petunias or something more like summer oriented wise. So if I do keep them on my patio, honestly, it's probably going to be the perfect spot for them because our patio is covered and it's a little bit cooler. So I might be able to get a longer bloom life out of these. Tulips are a one and done. So as soon as these blooms are done, I can pull those out and put something else in. Or if the ranunculus fill in enough, I can just leave the ranunculus in. But I will try and save the tulip bulbs and plant them out in the fall. Ranunculus have multiple blooms. You can see that there's multiple started here, and I can clip off and they'll keep reblooming. So they're not a one and done, they're a multiple bloom type situation. Pansies are the same, they'll give me multiple blooms. Again, I've never grown this other flower, and it looks more of like a ground cover-esque, because it is supposed to be 6 to 10 inches tall and 12 inches for a spread. So it's more of a ground cover-esque type plant, which is fine with me. It'll work great in my garden. Ranunculus, all of these actually, except for the Alpino, yeah, I think that's how you say it. All these come in multitudes of different colors. Pansies come in just a wide array, Ranunculus the same, tulips, very wide range of colors. How did I come about picking out the colors that I did? Honestly, I started with my Ranunculus. I wanted to start out with my Ranunculus and get my color palette from that. If I chose to go more on the bright side, then I would lend my other color palettes towards that. I went more for the purples and creams with the Ranunculus, and so I went more towards that with my pansies and my tulips. Purples, creams, whites, I wouldn't say it's like monotoned because I do have, you know, a couple different shades and a couple different colors in here, but definitely like cool toned flowers. So how I go about filling my pots or a display like this is I think of filler, spiller, and thriller. So this is going to be my thriller, and then once these grow up, my Ranunculus, they'll be kind of my thriller. My pansies are going to be my filler, and my Alpino over here is going to be more my spiller, or I'm going to treat it more as a spiller type situation. I think pansies probably could be a little bit of a spiller type situation as well, especially if they're happy. But I definitely want the pansies more to be a filler type flower, and then my Ranunculus to fill to be a filler, and then be my thriller after my tulips are done blooming. So thriller, something tall, filler, something to fill in around it, and a spiller to come over the top to have a full and complete pot is kind of how I look at it. I'm going to use the same pots that I used last year in my Easter display, the gray ones, and I have little guy, medium guy, and the big guy. I used to have 2 of the medium and 2 of the small, which I still have 2 of the small. I only have 1 of the medium though because I used the other medium to pot up my amaryllis. So we're going to try and fit all of these plants into these 4 pots. If I can't, I'll go out and find another pot and utilize it elsewhere. But I think I can. I'm going to pack these pots a little bit more on the full side as well, because it is spring. I don't think these plants are going to be putting on that much growth. You know, I'm gonna try and keep them in these pots as long as possible. But you know, if they do grow out of these pots, that's fine. It's not a big deal. I can plant them out in my landscape and transition them outside, and then put something else in these pots for summertime if I want. If I don't use these in the summertime for a table arrangement out on the patio, that's fine too. I have a lot of pots this year that I need to fill. So, you know, when that comes around to it, I'll take you guys with me on that adventure. I did use a regular potting soil, so I didn't use garden mix. It is important to use a potting soil when you're using pots. It just holds on to the moisture different. It doesn't compact. These pots were empty, and I am filling them completely full with potting soil, and then a Spoma biotone. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but that's a Spoma biotone. Because these are a more perennial type flower, I did use biotone for their root development instead of like a slow release fertilizer. Because I still want them to, you know, grow nice roots, so that I can plant them out into my landscape and have them thrive and be healthy living plants. That's kind of my setup. I didn't pre-moisten my potting soil. It's probably gonna come back to bite me in the behind that I didn't do that again. But I just didn't, so that I can work with it a little bit easier, shape it to what I need it to be shaped to, and try and pack as many plants in as possible. So I don't expect a ton of air around their root balls. And if, you know, when I do my initial water after I've planted these, I'll check, you know, check each plant and make sure that they're compacted in with soil appropriately, so that they are happy and that they thrive, because that's what I want. Especially when spending a little extra money for the perennials, I want them to thrive, and so that I can use them in, you know, future months and future years. So let me talk about my design for this table setup. So I did mention that I have 4 pots. I have the big one, the medium one, and the 2 smalls. The 2 smalls will take 1 pot or 1 plant each. Hello, big kitty. The medium one, I'm going to try and put 2 to 3. I know I can fit 2. I'm gonna try and put 3 in. That might be a little too much for that pot, but we'll see. And then the big one, I'm either going to try and fit 3 to 4 plants in, or 3 to 4 plants in, possibly 3, maybe 4, depending on what I can get in the other ones. Because these are spring plants, I am hoping that they're not super root bound in their pots. So these pansies, I'm hoping, aren't super root bound. I don't think they are, but we'll see, and see if I can knock any dirt off. And if I can knock dirt off, then that will allow me to put more plants into a pot. So my idea here, so in the big pot, I want to do my thriller, because that's my focal point. Because it is a table decoration or a table setup, ideally I would have my tulips in the center, but I'm going to pot them towards one side and then build my table display around the most focal point of our table. So I'm gonna put those to one side. Here, let me do this, right there. And then I'm going to stick, I believe I decided on this ranunculus in here with it, just like that. And then 1 pansy is kind of my thought here. I might be able to do another pansy over here once I get them out of their nursery cans and get some of that dirt knocked off. If I can do that, great. If I can't, we'll see. I'm not doing the Alpino. I guess I could try and do, I might try the Alpino for my thriller, filler, and spiller elements. But how I'm arranging these, because it's not going to be in one pot, if I arrange them accordingly, then I'll still have my thriller, filler, and spiller in the different variety of pots. So that's kind of my idea for the big pot. My next pot, my medium-sized pot, I'm gonna do the ranunculus and probably a pansy. I can't get it in the pot right now, but that's probably what I'll do. If I can't fit 4 into this pot, I'm gonna try and fit 3 into the medium pot. I think I could probably get 4 though, now looking at it. I think I can get 4 into this pot, so I'll put 2 into this one and then 1 plant into each of these. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. That's kind of my thought process. I have an idea of how I'm gonna arrange it on the table as well. So let's start planting, and once I'm done planting, I'll arrange and kind of walk you through what you guys just saw. Before I go over the arrangement right here, which I think turned out fantastic, I wanted to go over some of the requirements for the plants that I have. You can see my mess right here. I did try and contain the mess as best as possible, but you guys know when you're planting up some plants, some dirt gets everywhere. So the one variety of Ranunculus is a vanilla bicolor medley. So the colors that you see right here, there will be some more yellow tones, some more muted yellow, blush-ish yellow tones with it. So I'm excited to see the different colors in that. Like I said, Ranunculus are not hardy in our area. They are hardy down to 0. They do get about 10 to 12 inches tall. You need to space them about 12 inches if you're, you know, if you're doing like a cut garden or putting them in your landscape. They are a spring bloomer. Best in moist, fertile, and well-drained soil. Allow soil to dry slightly between waterings, deadhead regularly, and fertilize monthly. Large double white and cream peony-like flowers with darker pastels on the petal edges. Bloom on tall, sturdy stems, long bloom time, cutting gardens, beds, planters, and window boxes. So that's the first Ranunculus that I have. Where's my other one? There's that one. There. Okay. Sprinkles Violet is the next one. Again, hardy down to zone 0. Height is 8 inches. Spread is 10 inches. Blooms in spring. Large double violet purple cup-shaped flowers on strong upright stems. Ferny foliage. Excellent in containers, low borders, and window boxes. Best in moist, fertile, well-drained soil. Allow soil to dry slightly between waterings. So that's the Ranunculus. The Alpino Early White, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but that's what that is. It's hardy down to -30. Height is 6 to 10 inches, 12-inch spread, blooms in spring to summer. Sunny location. The Ranunculus is also a sunny location. What does it say? Pink buds open to pink blushed flowers that quickly turn white on a mound, forming evergreen perennial with sprays of linear leaves. Rock gardens and containers. Prefers well-drained soil kept evenly moist. Feed in early spring and after flowering. I've never grown this variety before. They did have a purple one that looked very similar to this. I didn't grab that because I thought it would be too much purple for this, and I wanted that pop of white or that light blush color. So I got 2 of those instead. But I'm excited because I do have a place for this out in the garden. So, but I did buy 2 of those. So 1 of each variety of the Ranunculus, 1 of the purple tulip, and that's all that it was called, was a purple tulip. 2 of the Alpinos, and then 3 pink pansy shades. So it's a variety pack again. Oh, you really can't see that. There we go. There's a little light. I'll get a variety of different colors of blooms out of this. I'm just seeing the light ones right now. So there's like a blush-ish color, and then kind of like a white with a very soft pink, and then a pure white in there right now. But it does say that it does have some darker pinks in there. So we'll see how this this arrangement comes and kind of morphs together with all of the variety packs that I have. I did get 3 of the pansies as well. Yeah. How did I pick the plants, the amount of plants that I wanted? Honestly, I had a different pot in mind, which was much bigger, and that's why I kind of chose how many plants I did. And then I changed my mind at the last minute and I made this work, which is perfectly fine, and I think it works great. I kind of have an idea of how many plants per pot should go in if I can knock enough dirt off, and then how I want my display to go. So like I said, the larger one did take 4, the medium pot took 2, and then the smaller ones had just enough room for one plant each. So I have not watered these in yet, so they're looking a little sad, but I'll show you what they look like. There's one Alpino, there's the tulips with the ranunculus, the pansy, and the Alpino on the other side right there. And I just think this is just a gorgeous little display from actually all ends. I thought it was going to be more of a one-sided display, and you can kind of see I have a slight hole right here, but I'm hoping when these two pansies fill in, it'll kind of, and then this Alpino, when that fills in, it'll kind of go over here, and then that pansy will fill in over here as well. So, but all in all, I think this is just a cute little display for Easter. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching me put together my Easter display. If you have any questions that I didn't answer, or if you want me to go over something again, feel free to put a comment below, and I'll give you an update around Easter time on how this is filled in and how it looks. I hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll see you in the next project. Bye guys.